Hi everyone, my name's Teal and I'm one of your librarians here at South. And today I'm going to talk about the first three steps of the research process. So, we're going to be talking about the first three steps of research if you're specifically looking for academic sources and you're using the resources we have here at South Seattle College. The research process is a term that we use to talk about a bunch of different strategies and techniques and tools that we use to find information about a specific topic. It's not always a linear process, maybe it never is. You usually have to do each step multiple times and maybe not in the same order, but they are similar skills to how you use and find information in your daily life, just maybe with different tools and different kinds of information. So, the way I think about it, the first three steps of the research process are one, to figure out your topic and what type of source you need. Step two, choose a starting point. Step 2.5, if you're looking for academic resources, you need to log into our library's website. And step 3, review the sources you find and adjust your search as needed. So, step number 1 is figuring out what your research topic is and what type of source you need. Your topic might be assigned, it might be just a vague idea you have, or it might be even a fully developed research question. In any case, you need to think about what keywords you might use to get at the big ideas of your topic and think of words that are clear, simple, commonly used ways to describe these ideas. And finally, think about if you need a specific kind of source. Today we're talking about finding academic sources, but you may need a different kind of source, in which case your next steps might be slightly different. So, the topic I'm interested in and plan to research today is the way that increasing ICE activity and generally immigration enforcement is affecting students on college campuses. That's a pretty broad version of my topic. I might end up narrowing it down depending on what I find. I might want to narrow it down based on type of college campus, type of impact, maybe region. These sorts of things are on my mind, but I don't know exactly how I want to narrow my topic, and I need to see what sort of resources are out there before I make that call. The next step is to choose a starting point. What are you actually going to do to start your research? It doesn't always start the same way. You might choose a different starting point for different projects. You might use all of these starting points at different points in this research process, but basically you're choosing a starting point based on your topic and what type of source you need. Some of the starting points that I use if I'm looking for academic sources are our library's website, which both provides access to all of the resources you have access to as a student, but also has its own search tool that allows you to search all of those resources at once. You can also use Google Scholar as a starting point for academic research, and you can even look at specific databases or specific academic journals if that is relevant to your topic and the type of source you need. So, for the research I'm doing today, I am going to use the library website. So, to get to the library website, start at the South Seattle College website, so southseattle.edu. From here, I'm going to open up the student page and then click on library. This is our library's homepage. The URL for this website is just library.southseattle.edu, so you can always go right there if you'd like. And from here, I could use the search box here. I'm going to open up advanced search right away because that will just simplify my process. So now I'm looking at the advanced search tool on the South Seattle College Library website. And now I need to think about what keywords I'm going to use to look for my research topic. I'm going to use the term immigration enforcement to get at the first part of my topic. And then for the second idea, there's a second big idea of my topic. It's college campuses. So I think I'm going to just use that term in the second field. If your topic had more than two big ideas in it, you could add another line if you needed to. Or if your topic is just one idea, you could put that all in the first field. It depends on what your topic is, but you want to think about how many key ideas are there within it. And before I even hit search, I'm going to change where this tool is looking for sources on this topic. The default is the library catalog. This is getting at mainly the books that the library has, so the physical books and the ebooks. but not really the academic articles. So that will just give me a lot of results that I probably can't use. I could search for everything, the books and the articles and everything else, but I'll have to wade through a lot to get to the academic articles. And since I already know that's what I need, I'm just going to go ahead and choose articles and e-resources right away. That will include resources that are not academic articles, but that's as narrowed down as I can get at this stage. So now I'm going to go ahead and hit search. So now I'm looking at my first page of results and I'm seeing this yellow banner that reminds me that I need to sign in order to get complete results and to request items. This is referring to the fact that because academic articles are often behind a paywall and we pay for access to these articles as an institution, you need to sign in as a student in order to get that access. This is asking for my Seattle College's credentials, and I can sign in with them either up in the top right, or I can sign in by clicking the button that appeared in the yellow banner. Either way, I need to authenticate myself as affiliated with this institution before I can see the full text of these articles. I am going to show you what you would do if you don't know your Seattle College's password. If you don't know your Seattle College's login information, you can reset it at any time. You can use this QR code to open it up on a phone to reset it that way, or you can go straight to this website on any device. This website is tools.seattlecolleges.edu. From that page, you can use your CTC link information to reset your Seattle Colleges information. Your CTC link information is your student ID number and the password that you use for Canvas. Let me show you. So also from the South Seattle College website, on the student page, so back to the student page, another link here is the Seattle College's login tools. So if I click on that, I open up this page, and the URL is tools.seattlecolleges.edu. From here, you can get your credentials, just look them up if you think you've already set them and just don't remember, or you can reset them. To reset them, put your student ID number, and then your Canvas password. Click the CAPTCHA, and then validate the credential. So I validated my credential. Now I can reset my Seattle College's password. It also shows me my username. So my username is Teal_Christensen. Most people's usernames are going to be similar to that. There are some exceptions. So if you need to look up your username, you can use the same process. Go ahead and update your password, reset it, and then you'll be good to go. I don't need to reset mine, so I'm going to close out of this and go back to my search. Go ahead and sign in once you've reset your password. Current students, faculty, and staff, that's us. And then I'm going to go ahead and log in with that information. So my username, and then my password. And now I'm all logged in. The yellow warning banner has disappeared. My name is up in the top right corner. I am all logged in and I won't run into any barriers as I try to actually read the articles that I have now found. And now we're on the third step. We need to review our results and adjust our search as needed. From the results page, you can review the type of source, you can see the title of the source, you can see the journal it was published in, if applicable, and you can see when it was published. All of this information should give you some idea of if these sources are actually relevant to what you're looking for. If they're not relevant, you just need to adjust your search. So you can filter by type of source, date, languages you speak. You can try different keywords to get more at what you mean. See what came up, and if it's not what you mean, what are other words that get at your topic but might be more specific? Or more broad. If you didn't get very many results at all, maybe you need to broaden your search up. And there's also other advanced search features that we'll look at together. With all this in mind, I'm going to take a look at the results I got with the first version of my search. So the first thing that I'm sort of noticing, and as you can see, there's like yellow highlights anywhere where my keywords came up in the results. And so I can see immediately that immigration enforcement is pretty well covered. That's coming up in every single result. But I don't see, there's one that's referring to campus, but I'm not seeing the word college campus coming up nearly as often. And that's sort of indicating to me that it is not pulling articles that are about college campuses necessarily, but maybe reference college campuses at some point, but it's not the main topic of the article. So I'm actually going to go back to my search. Let me open it up by clicking on that little arrow and I can see my search again. And so the first thing I think I'm going to do is change my keyword from college campus to college. That way I can find out if there are articles that are referring to colleges or other higher education institutions but aren't calling them college campuses. So I'm going to change that to college, simplify it a little bit, but I'm also going to change where in the record the tool is looking for that term. So I'm going to change it from any field, which is the default, to subject. And now I'm also going to do the same thing for immigration enforcement. Let's see how that affects my search. And I'm going to go ahead and search. And now I'm looking at my new results, and in fact, I don't actually see my keywords coming up as often in the titles, but I do know that all of these must have something like my keywords as a subject, which is good. But the other thing I'm seeing is that a lot of these are magazine articles, which isn't what I'm looking for. So let me go over to my Refine My Results menu on the left-hand side, and I'm not going to select magazine articles. I'm going to stick with just the articles resource type, which will filter this to be academic articles instead. I'm going to click on that and apply filters. And now I only have 60 results. They should all be academic articles, and I'm going to take a look. Now, at this point, I probably need to start diving into some of these resources. So I need to open them up, and I need to check out the preview and then maybe open up the full article. So, for example, this fifth result, I'm going to click on the title to open up the preview. From here, so in the preview, I can see the full description of the article, so that can help assess if it's relevant. And I can also see all of the subjects. So you can see everywhere it's highlighted. So there isn't a subject that's just college, but there is a subject that is college students. So that's good to know. I could change my search term to college students to match the way this system is tagging subjects. I also see that there is immigration as a subject, immigration policy is a subject, and then also U.S. immigration enforcement is a subject. Not just immigration enforcement, but U.S. and immigration enforcement. It looks like this is coming up with what I need, but those might be ways to refine my search terms even more to be more specific to this system I'm using. All of these hyperlinks will take me to searches of those subjects, but if I click on immigration, for example, it won't be also searching for the college campus piece. It will only be searching for immigration. So depending on my topic, it might be helpful to check out these hyperlinks, but it might not. So I'm instead going to go to the View Online section of this preview. That is where you will be able to find out where you can actually get the article. There should be a list of one or more links here. Go ahead and click on any of them. I'm going to click on this one. It only has one, so I'm going to open up the platform that will give me access to this article. So in the case of this article, the way that we're getting access to it as South Seattle College students is through the database called Academic Search Complete. And Academic Search Complete is a database that is a product of the company EBSCO. From here, I can decide how I want to actually read the article. Do I want to download a PDF of it? Do I want to just look at it online? I'm going to check it out online first. I'm going to click Online Full Text. It'll take me to another page that will show me the whole article. Now I can read it, decide if I want to use it. Remember, as you're finding articles, if you're not reading them while you find them, make sure to save the link to them so that you can find them again later and you don't have to go through that whole search process again. And I'm also going to make sure that for any article I find that I might use, or I definitely will use, I want to go to wherever the cite feature is on the database. So it's usually like a quotation mark symbol. I'm going to open it up and I'm going to copy the citation for this article right away so that I have it later. So I'm going to change this style to MLA because that's what I would be using for my research project. And I'm going to copy this to my clipboard and I'm going to put the citation in the document where I'm keeping the rest of my notes so that that work is done for me when I come to it later. So those are the first 3 steps that I take if I'm looking for academic sources. If you need any support with this project or any other research you're doing, please contact the library. You can stop by in person. You can make an appointment with us in person or on Zoom. You can chat with us anytime, day or night. If you work at night, please use this chat feature. If you want to email us, you can email us generally, you can email me directly, or you can even call us. Please take advantage of this resource. This is one of the things that you pay for as a student, and we'd really like to help you. Okay, good luck with your research.